So we have that queued up, but we have some backups that have already been running on here. So let's go to the Restore Wizard. This would be a way that we would go about it if we're just going to overwrite an entire drive or mount an image. More typically, we go to Explore Backup and hit Next, and we'd select our backup volume. So I'll hit Backup Job 2 because it has a couple incrementals I can show you. And Frank says, yeah, that'll work. You can always check the log sequence numbers on the database and compare to the snapshot time. Absolutely. Good call. So we hit Next, and it says, okay, well, in this backup job, there are a number of incrementals that we recognize. Which one do you want to restore to? And this is what I was talking about earlier, where a lot of BDR systems would make you first restore the full, then restore the incremental, restore this incremental, this, and then 5. So you can just hit the 5th one and hit Next, and it's going to say, okay, perfect. Where do you, let's create a virtual drive and restore and mount it as a virtual drive. Wonderful. So we'll do Q. We'll hit Next. Gives you the chain that it's going to recover. Finish. And it's going to get it done. So here it is. So I close this, and let's say, okay, well, we just recovered that the exchange volume. Well, what can we do with the exchange volume now? So we hit Exchange Granular Recovery. We hit our source. We open up the source. We go back to my computer so you can see. We just recovered it as virtual drive Q. Open this up. Get that in the mailbox. It's going to automatically plug in where the logs, the transaction logs for the database should be. If they're, for whatever reason, in a different place, you can always browse and specify that. And the temporary file path is pretty small. You know, we haven't seen it get much bigger than, you know, a couple hundred megs. Say OK. It's going to populate based on the backup data that we just recovered. So wonderful. So now we have all this information. Well, now what can we do with it? Well, we can either open a target PST, which is more of a digital discovery, electronic discovery function. You know, you want to get this information recovered to a PST file and send it to an investigator or a lawyer, something of that nature. More commonly, we're just going to open up some live Exchange server. And this access is based on the Windows user that I'm logged in on currently. So the Windows user I'm logged on currently is an admin for this Exchange server. So it lets me do this. So right here I have it. So now let's say, okay, user 1 lost an email about Nortel. So I'd say, okay, search for words, Nortel email, real important. And we open up this one and say, is that the one you need? It says, what attachment is that? Call center supervisor? No, that's not the one. So we close that. We say, okay, what about this one? Nortel management guide. Perfect, that's the one I need. So you say, okay, great. Open up the inbox, take this, drag it, drop it, recovered. Done. We could take all of these and drag and drop them. You can choose what you're searching across, so instead of just a user, maybe the entire mailbox. And we get all these emails. We could save this report, you know, digital discovery needs, whatever you want to do. Let's just say we just need to overwrite a user. We just take the user, we just drop them onto the server here, and it'll overwrite that. Let's say we're migrating hardware. You just take the whole EDB and drag it on here, hit OK. And then it's even going to say, hey, do you want the mailboxes to be created that don't already exist? Sure. Thanks for saving me a bunch of steps, or like one step per mailbox rather, but that adds up. And then it'll go ahead and migrate all the information over. So it's really quite flexible and quite simple to use. I mean, you don't need to be an Exchange genius to be able to take advantage of this program. This really lets you get through it quickly and easily. Okay, and then the other ones, we have the management agent, which is the Pulse management agent, so which you would install here if you want to monitor the backup events that are happening or control the backup sets. And then bare metal image stream, which is what we would use if we were going to select this or select that data to go off-site. So you just hit here, you browse your machine, and right now I use the F drive as my quote-unquote staging machine. So I would just hit, okay, well, let me just back up, everything on here. Hit next, and then you schedule it to run off-site, for images, probably once a month. For incrementals, you can do that more frequently because they're smaller and they'll get done faster. And then for file and folder, you can run a backup, hourly off-site. Very fast in that respect. So I'm going to open up the Q&A right now. Thank you all for sticking around. Any questions we have, I'll give out the Kindle code. Let me see. So again, call into our partner specialists, and they'll go through the ROI with you to make sure that, one, this is a good fit for you, because it makes no difference to us if you sign up if you're not going to sell, if it's not going to help you help your customers, really. So they're going to find a package and a plan that makes sense for you and determine if it makes sense at all. And then you give them the Kindle code, Z7B91D. I'll write that out here in the chat. Z7B91D. So that's the Kindle code. You give your partner specialist the Kindle code and your contact information, and they're going to register you into a drawing, and then we'll announce the winner next week for your Kindle. So any questions about the service that we went through? Frank, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Brian, Jason, Larry, Ken, Jason, Gary, Frank. All right, a couple questions about the pricing. What does it cost to get into the program? Jason says, show me the money. Okay. The baseline package is $379 per month. There's no startup fee. It's just $379 per month from the beginning, and that gives you a credit to create as much cloud backup up to 1 terabyte and 5 ServerSave licenses. So that's less than $100 a month for 200 gigs and 1 server seat. And then we have additional plans. You can buy additional cloud packs, a terabyte at a time for as little as, $1.30 per gig per year, which is just really takes down, your cost and really puts up your margin what you can do here. Again, when it comes to off-site backup for image-based backup, the market average that we saw was still up around $20, $24 per gig per year. So now you have this cloud space, which you can use that for file, folder, or for cloud backup, and all you have to do is get a license or not. Brian, I can't email you the pricing plans, but if you talk to the partner specialist, they will certainly be able to get that information to you. So again, 877-896-3611, leave extension 1 for sales. And your partner specialists are going to be able to take you through everything, give you some handouts so you can take a look through the program and think on it over the holidays and really see what you can do. Now, I have to say that I also run the operations for SOS when it comes to delivering this product, and this has been such a wildly successful program with not just our existing partners but with new partners that you want to get in queue quickly, because we are we went from signing 30 to 40 partners a month to signing well over 100 partners a month as soon as we launched this program. So you want to make sure that you're getting in place and getting while the getting's good, because this market is wide open. It's ready for you. Businesses are going to start going to cloud services if they're not already, and this is a great way to get started into that. Good question from Larry. Do you have AutoTask connectivity? We don't do tie-ins to AutoTask, but AutoTask can tie into us. So use AutoTask to look at different events or things of that nature, and you can manage based on that. Thank you, Frank. We look forward to seeing you in the program. Good question from Brian. Is there a central console for our customers? They have several PCs in the plan. Well, not currently for management, but for access. Well, one, they could use the software client. As far as a portal, though, let me sign in. I'll sign into my own account. Let's see here. So here we can see we have all these different machine names in here. So all different machines that I've backed up. We got the Mac Mini, Boardroom, Demo 2. I have reporting so I can look at machine backup details. So how much have I backed up per machine and the date of the last backup per machine that's listed on here. I can also run a report for backup history. That'll give me a more extensive list of the dates of the backups and then per machine. But it doesn't give you the pulse functionality of the extensive event and backup session details or the ability to change backup sets. But it certainly provides a visibility into it. Brian asked, do you have any information about the upload data stream size during a backup process? Well, typically we package in 2 to 5 gig chunks. Image stream works a little differently where it breaks apart larger files into about that, 5 to 10 gig chunks. That way it can process it off-site very quickly and then it reattends in the back end. And one of the big things about our service, if you go to the main website, again, a big part of our services is the flexibility we have and the lack of restraint we put on the service for our customers. So we recently did this speed test just from a home network, and it was about 2 megabits per second that it was transferring at, and we got a 20 gig backup set done in 23 hours with our service, 33 hours with Mozy, and incomplete, but a majority of the backup set completed with Carbonite in 56 hours. So a lot of cloud-based services limit you on they cap your bandwidth, whereas if you're running if you have an upload speed of 10 megabits per second, you're probably going to upload to our cloud at about 8 megabits per second. It gets tagged off a little bit because of the SSL it's transferring over. But for the most part, we're not going to throttle you down at all. If anyone's throttling you, it's your own ISP, but we don't throttle you down. Good question, Brian. Thanks a lot. Any other questions about the service or the program? All right, well, much appreciated, everyone. We're looking forward to having you on board. When you sign up, you're going to be interacting with our partner delivery team, of which we have 5 full-time staff, 2 of which are designers who are going to help with the rebrand, and it's generally a pretty quick turnaround. We're looking at about 14 days at this point on average, and it can be a lot quicker than that or a lot longer than that, depending on different things you want to do. So it's good to get in. We can have you up and running in no time. So looking forward to seeing you all on board. And if you have any additional questions, your partner specialists are going to be able to help you out. So thank you all. Have a good day and have a good holiday.